Hey folks, how's it going? It's Game Webcam, and welcome to part 2 of playing Midtown Madness in 2022. I've already completed the San Francisco mission and races in part 1, which if you want to go and watch part 1, I highly recommend you do that first. I will have it in the top right corner. But yeah, mainly this video is going to be focused on the London mission and races. Now, I haven't started on these yet, but I probably am going to guess this is going to take as long as the San Francisco missions and races, because the London missions, from what I've seen and what I remember, are a lot more different than the San Francisco missions. The San Francisco missions seem to be a lot more intensive, while the London missions seem to be a lot more laid back and have its own sense of culture. One more thing I want to say before I start this video is that for the previous part, I decided to record the gameplay with my FaceCam turned on, which led to some 1440p gameplay. Now, for this video, I'm actually deciding to do straight up 4K gameplay. But the problem is, when I record videos in 4K, I cannot include my FaceCam in them. The main reason why is because the way I record FaceCam alongside gameplay. I have a separate part of the window where I overlay my FaceCam on, so that way when I go to edit my videos, I can place the FaceCam, move it anywhere I want to. But the problem is, if I'm recording 4K footage, I will have to extend the horizontal resolution to about 5,000-ish pixels. And unfortunately, by doing that, I run into limitations with the NVENC encoder. Because I had to figure this out myself, but the NVENC encoder has a resolution limit of about 4,000 pixels, which means that if I want to actually include my face cam in this 4K footage, I will actually have to overlay it on the gameplay, which is something that I don't want to do personally. Now, I'm aware there is the widescreen tool that is commonly used to get the game up to 1080p specs, but unfortunately, if you want to play this game into 4K, that tool will not do. That widescreen tool was created when 4K wasn't even a thing yet, and considering that it is a proprietary blob, it really can't be updated to add the 4K resolutions. But fortunately, there is another mod called MM2 Hook, which does allow you to run the game at basically any resolution. So if you want to play this game at 4K, 8K, 16K, or even higher, you have to use MM2 Hook to do the job. Because MM2 Hook opens up a lot of the game, making it a lot more modular. Now, because I'm getting a little bit more familiar with the command line, I actually have managed to create a modified shortcut using a couple of command line arguments, and that is able to get me to launch the game in 4K. If you actually want to check out MM2 Hook yourself, I will have a link for it in the description. Alright, I think that's pretty much all I have to say, so let's get into the London races and missions. Alright, so now we're gonna do the London campaign and races. So we're gonna go to London Cabby. So we're gonna do London Leap. Again, just like before, I've already done like the first campaign, first Blitz, and all that sort of stuff just to make sure that everything works just fine. I don't know why I failed cutting corners. I don't remember playing that. But anyways, let's get started. Alright, so the default for the London campaign is the London Cab, and I think this is probably going to be a little bit worse than the San Francisco campaign.
You have traffic on the other side as well.
The reason why is because the car just goes slower, and this thing is harder to turn too. Oh, it's such a slow car.
So, you're a real fly, you are. A regular little birdie.
I think the British narration is worse than the San Francisco narration. Oh, this car is so hard to turn. Like, see, I already missed a turn.
So you're speeding.
This car is so slow. Ooh, okay. This car is way harder to turn. Holy cow. Okay. Fortunately, the minimum speed is 40. Oh, come on. Alright, here we go. Drag race to the fishing line!
Well done that time.
Let's go.
Brilliant defeat.
Oh, okay, so we gotta leave. Alright, interesting.
And it's good practice for weaving your bit of magic through the crowd.
Fortunately, the poor handling of this car actually does come in handy on this mission.
Good work. You've got relatives who are snakes.
Alright, that was easy. I noticed that in my last recording, I tend to say easy way too much, so I'm gonna see if I can cut that down a little. Alright, we're already on the first midterm, so this is gonna be interesting. Alright, here we go. Ooh, okay. Of course they make me want to do tight turns with the freaking car that has a hard time turning. I see an opponent player in the distance. I don't know what that's about. Okay, please don't spin out of control. So we gotta go this way. Whew, okay. I'm not as familiar with the London campaign as the San Francisco campaign, because I was more obsessed with San Francisco than London. I can't believe I mispronounced San Francisco for a second. Jesus Christ. Oh, dang it. We gotta do the drawbridge. Of freaking course.
Sorry, no partial credit on my exam. You failed.
I went the wrong way too, so even if I did have the extra time, I would have failed that. What? How did I get past? Oh my god.
You're ready for the examination to prove that your success at them wasn't all just luck.
I could see that the checkpoints on the roads are not forgiving. Apparently, if you grind against the wall, it doesn't count as going through the checkpoint. Oh. Here's the thing, I actually do want to be careful with this, but the problem is of the stupid time limit. It's a really tight time limit, so by the time I get to the freaking drawbridge, the time is almost up. This zigzag part is only annoying because of the crappy steering of this car. Alright, let's go.
For your new Beetle RSI.
Alright, so we got the new Beetle RSI, that's good. This is gonna be quite difficult with this car, man. Oh boy, a geography quiz, let's go.
The knowledge, we call it. We're going to test yours here. Royal Albert Hall.
The worst part is, because this is London, I don't know my British geography as well as I do my San Francisco geography. Because, if you didn't know, I actually did go to San Francisco once, so obviously I know quite a few of the landmarks.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace, alright.
Admiralty Arch.
It's so bad at off-roading, Jesus Christ. Like, if I go into the grass and try to steer, it just loses control.
St. Paul's Cathedral.
Of course, make me go 180. Thank you very much, game.
The Tower of London.
Alright, I can easily plan my routes.
Tower Bridge.
Oh man, when is this gonna stop? Oh, please don't raise, you stupid drawbridge.
You're good, you are.
Ooh, let's
You
go.
did.
We barely got that in time. Let's go. Okay, so here's a no damage. Okay, this is a no damage
But
mission.
speedy drive.
Worst part is the hitboxes in this game are so finicky, so I really hope that I don't get bad, like, hitboxes to f up a run. And I think this one is much harder to do than the San Francisco mission because, at least with the San Francisco mission, you're at least able to drag race for the most part. But for this one, you actually have to turn around and avoid traffic and stuff. So you really do have to be careful in this mission. Okay. I hate how it's foggy, too. That's the worst part. Alright, easy. Oh. That's Midtown Madness 2 revisited right there. It adds in the London Eye. Okay, please don't run into me, you stupid car.
Brilliant.
Let's go. We did it first try. I remember as a little kid, I used to struggle on that mission. I would always lose. Alright, here we go. So we got another chase going on. But hopefully this might be easier because the cars are slower. Okay. What up with that jukes? What up with that fake turn? Okay, so we're going down this way. Alright, a lot of little turns here. Oh, we're going down the alleyways. Jesus. Okay, I was supposed to say, are we gonna go into the underground? Gee, thanks, game, for ruining my momentum. Alright, fortunately because of a lot of curves, I could still keep up with them pretty easily. Alright, that was... Alright.
Well done, me old China. You're a natural, you are.
That was pretty easy. Though there were some moments that did worry me a little bit. We have to go through really tight spaces in this map. Hopefully it won't be as bad as San Francisco's second midterm, where I have to spend literally at least a few hours beating it. Okay, so I have to follow a car, but I have to drive all the way there. Alright, here we go. Alright. Don't pull some weird crap on me, game. Alright. At least they went to a complete stop for that turn. Which I've never seen before. Once you play this game for a little bit, you definitely start to get used to the bad turning of this car. It's when you play the other cars and then you finally play a car like the London Cab, you'll notice that the speed, like the turning is just god-awful, but once you play it enough, you'll get used to the bad turning. I'm already adjusting to it quite easily. No, let's see if we can still do it. Okay, we still did it.
Paint job for your London Cab.
I thought we would have failed that, but we actually managed to make it. Alright. I'm kind of glad I didn't restart there. Oh, okay, so the reverse 180 trick. Okay. I think they want me to reverse 180 in the patch of grass.
Now, get on with it.
Yeah, they want me to reverse 180 in the patch of grass. Okay.
Beautiful reverse 180. You might be ready for the old stunt driving school in San Francisco.
Oh, but I already beat that campaign. Oh, we're gonna have to jump across boats. I've been cruising a little bit in London, so yeah, we're definitely gonna be jumping across boats. Alright, this is gonna be nutty. Yep, and of course I steer out of control on the first attempt. Oop, nope, I went into the river.
You look a bit...
Man, I keep going into the freaking river.
Precision jump.
Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to keep my speed for that jump. And of course I lose all my momentum when I finally do make the jump. Alright, let's go. We did it.
Yeah.
The thing I hated about that mission is the way that the boats were placed. They were so crooked. I don't see anybody completing that without trial and erroring it. Alright, here we go. We got pursuers.
Backspace key.
Wait, are you expecting me to outrun an Audi TT? Are you serious? That's a fast car. British people on their way to stab me right now. Lol. Because they don't have guns. Ha! Alright, that was a really bad joke.
Perfectly legal.
Alright. Using the traffic to my advantage again. Let's go. Man, they're really on my ass. And they just don't stop coming. Oh, the off-roading of this damn car. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Yeah, I failed this. I failed this mission. That's the thing. I played the Audi TT. It's such a fast car. How are you expecting a London cabbie to outrun an Audi TT? A car that's probably like twice as fast as the London cab. Look, it's an Audi TT. How am I supposed to outrun that?
Get on with it.
That's not possible! Here's the thing, I'm wondering if it's MM2 hook that's making the pursuers go a lot faster. Because I swear, every video I've watched of, like, people playing these missions, they're able to outrun them, like, quite easily, but I cannot outrun them for even though I play the exact same way they do. I have a feeling that it might be MM2 Hook, like, redoing the Cops AI or the Chaser AI to make sure that it's a lot more stringent than the vanilla AI. There is no other explanation for this. It's ridiculous. At least with the San Francisco mission, I was able to go fast enough to be able to lose them at the last second. But how am I gonna do this with a London cab? A car that's like half the speed of the Audi TT. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Alright, so we're now gonna try this with without MM2 Hook and see if that makes a difference.
It's all perfectly legal.
So this is a more vanilla rip. Fortunately, I have a backup of this. Unfortunately, this is only gonna be in 1080p right now. Sorry about that. But we'll see if this makes a difference. Yeah, see, I'm already easily outrunning the Audis. Like, I'm already losing them easily. So yeah, I think what MM2 Hook does is it redoes some of the like the Chaser AI to make the cars a lot faster.
You'll need... Good job. There's something sinister
Wait,
in the flood after all.
It says I passed even though there was still a car chasing me. What the hell? Okay. Oh my god. Windows Explorer just keeps crashing with the vanilla installation. That's why MM2 Hook, like, fixes a lot of these issues. Oh, bro, you didn't even give me a chance.
You are now ready for the third exam.
What is this checkpoint layout?
Will be a new... Right.
Why do I always keep having to
for the
180 for this goddamn midterm? I swear, the checkpoint layout for this midterm is so unintuitive. And of course, the Audi had to go right in front of me. Okay, let's go. A reverse 180, that was the most successful yet. But of course, quickly thwarted because I ran into rubble and that made me go into the wall. I know that British people call trash rubbish. And I steered out of control.
You are now ready for the third.
No, come on, that was
you are
so
now ready
good.
For the third exam.
Okay, so apparently you're supposed to go that direction.
Again,
why aren't the checkpoints designed to tell you what direction they're facing? Man, racing games have improved so much in so many ways. I forget how much we take those improvements for granted. The fucking rubbish, man. Why is it the rubbish that can up the turning of this car? I swear to God, it's not a difficulty thing. It's a fucking nuisance is what it is. Alright, here we go. We finally made it to the jumps. Oh, but for now, you actually decide to change up the rules?
For the third...
Well, actually, that's a good thing. You know what? I'm actually not going to complain too much about that. That's actually a good thing. Just means less trial and erroring. Alright. It seems like reverse 180ing the other way is a lot easier. Alright, here we go.
You earned a new paint job for your classic Mini.
Oh man, okay. That wasn't as bad as San Francisco Midterm 2, but it was right up there, man. Oh my god, I had to really trial and error. Mainly, it's the checkpoint placement that made this midterm so hard. It's so unintuitive. Like, I don't understand how anybody can understand how the checkpoints work without trial and erroring it. It's so weird. Okay. Alright, here we go. The final exam. Let's go.
You're now ready for the final exam.
I don't think there's any pursuers in this one. Oh man, it's like San Francisco's Midterm 3, where the drifting is just so weird. Well, if it weren't for the AI choke right there, I would have immediately lost that mission. Okay. Alright, we're back on MM2 hook now, and hopefully we won't... I don't think there are any pursuers in this mission from what it looks like, but if that's the case, then I'll probably have to go back to the 1080p version again. Because playing the pursuer missions with MM2 hook is, like, almost near impossible. Like, it just makes the pursuers way smarter than they actually need to be. Like, the reason why the AI is so dumb in the vanilla game is so that way it makes the missions actually possible to do. But, of course, make them smarter and the missions are all of a sudden, like, impossible to complete. Alright. This seems to be a pretty easy following sequence so far. Alright. Okay, so now we got a bunch of checkpoints to go through. I don't think there's minimum speed this time, so we don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, it seems like we have to go through a lot of checkpoints here. And fortunately for this final exam, I'm not noticing a lot of tight turns. Like, it's actually pretty straightforward, which actually is pretty good. Okay, I think for the intended route, they want us to do the boat jumps. And of course, the boat part is what's going to be the hardest of them all. Fortunately, the chase part is not that hard. It is tedious, though. Considering that if we're going to be doing a lot of do-overs, the chasing part is going to become quite tedious, but it's fairly easy to do, so I don't really have that much of a problem with it. Oh, this time I veered it too much to the right. That's strange, because that's the first time I've ever made that mistake. Oh!
You're now ready
for the final
exam.
I hate my Android phone doing that. And I know it's TikTok that's doing that.
You'll have to use all the knowledge you've gained to pass this exam.
I'm gonna blame my Android phone for that. You know what? I'm blaming my Android phone for that. No! The freaking street light ruined my jump! Of course the goddamn street light had to ruin my jump. The worst part is, I had such a good setup going as well. Yep, of course I failed that
use all the knowledge.
The worst part about the bridges is they want you to do all 4 of the jumps, like, in the first time you come across them. Which is gonna be a giant pain in the ass. So it's pretty much just like that mission, just with the added tediousness of a car chase and going through some checkpoints to get there. Alright, I'm actually going to start pausing the recording at this point because I'm failing this so many times to the point where I'm going to waste up hard drive space if I just keep recording all my attempts. So I'm going to unpause the recording when I successfully do this. Alright, you know what? After doing this for like 8 attempts, you know what? I'm actually just going to end it here because honestly, I know this is possible. I do actually know that this is possible. But unfortunately, I just do not have all of the time I need to be able to complete this. So you know what? We're actually going to call it here. And we're actually not going to do that anymore. So, unfortunately, I failed the final. And again, if it weren't for that one section, which is absolute bullshit, I would have actually done a fairly good job, and I'm pretty sure I would have passed that easy. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the races now. Alright, we're gonna get out of the London cab because of the trauma that this has given me at this point. I don't want to play with this car anymore. Alright, we're gonna pick one of the cars that we have unlocked. Whoa. What is this turning? It's like there's a huge amount of input latency. Jesus Christ. Alright. Jesus Christ, the turning on this vehicle is so nutty. Like, I know that there are some cars in this game that you can turn quite easily, and there are some cars that you'll have a hard time turning. I think this is an example of a car that turns way too much. Alright, we're gonna try a different car, because I cannot handle the steering on that thing. I cannot handle the steering on this. Alright, let's go back to the Audi TT.
I have to admit, I'm pretty excited about the anarchy you're about to bring to the UK.
Man, they really got the British stuff wrong. I mean, I'm not a British person, but even I know that's painfully bad. Of course, I run into the goddamn tree. I'm so
Sunny and clear.
Here's the thing. I want to go for that checkpoint because it's the next one I see. But no, of course, it's the one that's like to my left, like 135 degrees. Alright, easy. We do this every day. Alright, finally, a Blitz race where we actually get to go underground. And the train is actually chasing me from behind. Wow. The thing is, I thought I was going in the wrong direction, but I think that is the intended direction that you were supposed to go in because of the checkpoint that's up ahead. What a weirdly and awkwardly placed checkpoint, might I add. Alright, easy.
Nicely done! You just unlocked that new Mini Cooper!
The Mini Cooper, huh? It's kind of a shame, though, that the London campaign actually does not utilize the underground section at all. Like, I imagine that you could have made a few good missions out of using the underground. And it would have been a nice change of pace and not have to do that same goddamn... Not do that same jumping boat section again. Which, yes, I am still fairly mad about.
Great work, and you look good doing it in your Audi TT!
Okay, that was such a horrible accent. That was such bad voice acting. Alright, this one seems to be really straightforward. Alright, yeah, that was pretty easy and straightforward. Unlike some of the earlier Blitz races we did. Alright, we got a 180 here. Well, I don't think the Audi TT can 180 to save its life. Okay, the checkpoint is facing that direction, but you want me to go left? I'm sorry.
Remember,
what kind of game design is that? Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that checkpoint and go for this checkpoint instead. Yeah, see, look, that was a way easier route. Okay, so for this race, apparently you're supposed to run into the building. Wow, they really thought outside the box with these races, didn't they? Perhaps the developers of this game just hate British people. I mean, why else would you have a race dedicated into running into a castle? Like, you definitely know that this was you definitely know that the developers hate British people. And of course, this is like the getaway spot. Alright, so we just committed terrorism in a race. Nice.
You Audi do well driving that TT, my dear. Oh, yes, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, you definitely should be. At least they have some self-awareness, thank God. Nope, screw your checkpoint order. I'm going in this way. So far, not a bad race at all. It's just the way they definitely... the intended order of the checkpoints that they want you to go through is definitely not the most intuitive way. There's definitely a way more intuitive way to go through these checkpoints, and I'm pretty sure that could have easily been fixed. Like, I'm surprised nobody on the team saw a problem with
You've
that.
just earned a new paint job for the new Mini Cooper.
Oh, nice, the Mini Cooper. Alright, I think that's all of the Blitz races. Alright, that was pretty easy for the most part. Again, it's just the way that the checkpoints were done in some of the Blitzes were so weird. Alright, here we go. Let's do the first checkpoint race. And we're gonna actually try out the Mini Cooper. We're only gonna do this for the first few races as a joke. Just for the meme. Oh man, it's such a cute car. I mean, it's not a car to write home to or anything, but bro, look at this car. It's just so cute.
Final checkpoint. A classic victory for the classiest little car out there. The classic Mini Cooper.
At least they have voice lines for the Mini Cooper.
It's great, that Mini Cooper. It's like you don't even drive it, you just wear it. Looks good on you.
Yeah, I have no comment on that dialogue at all. That's all I'm just gonna say. I have no comment. Alright, here we go. Surprisingly. Oh, this is not a drawbridge. I think the other one is. Oh! Okay, we just ran into some minor graphical issues. Oh gosh, it's the British police.
Now go full out for the finish.
We're gonna get stabbed. No! Oh my god. Almost destroyed my car as well. Jesus Christ.
You're looking rather chuffed after that performance. So do it again then.
I'm sorry, that outro was hilarious. Alright, now we're gonna use some actual cars this time. We just did that for the meme, but I don't think it's an actual competitive car. Bro, the hippie paint job on the London cabs. Like, bruh, that's a certified bruh moment. But of course, when I drive the Audi TT, like, I have almost no competition.
Go beyond finish line. Anon, anon.
I like how they thought that you were gonna take this shortcut and they just added a police car there. Like, I'm pretty sure if you took the intended route, you would have never ran into that police car. So it's like they're punishing you for actually deciding to take shortcuts. See ya later, suckers! I mean, it can't do handbrake drifting, but the Audi TT definitely does normal drifting pretty well. Don't honk your horn at me.
All right, mate. Now go for the finish.
And plus, I'm pretty sure London cars' horns don't sound like that anymore. At least I hope they don't. I've never been to
Great
London.
driving, but don't get too chuffed up about it. It's only one race, you know.
Bro, that doesn't even sound British. That literally sounds Australian or New Zealand. Does not even come close to sounding like they come from the British Isles. All right. drawbridge moment. Let's go. Well, I hope that I can still recover from this. Jeez, it seems like you could really go in any direction. I feel like they probably designed it this way on purpose. Yeah, you can see that the other racers are like all over the place. So I think by design they made this like very ambiguous, so that way you know like you could go anywhere. Matter of fact, when people are driving straight up military cars. Okay,
How very
I really went the wrong way. Man, that siren sounds so much more annoying.
Now it's a race to the finish line!
Whew, okay. That was a little tense.
I
managed to actually lose the police.
Unlocked. The panel's GTR1 is now available. To you! Oh, I'm not joking.
Okay, wow. Again, what up with the dragged out narration? But, okay, we're actually gonna try out the Panos GTR1. The Panos GTR1 is the fastest car in the game. However, I do remember this car is horrible for off-roading. It constantly has a problem with curbs, and its durability is horrible. In fact, there's a modified version of this car called the ERT. Like, and it takes advantage of a famous glitch called NOS. And you can get to, like, inhumane, like, superhuman speeds with that car. Of course, it's a custom mod car that you have to download, but I know that is, like, a really infamous car in the modding community just because of how overpowered that car is. Alright, easy. Let's go. Huh! A checkpoint race that actually has racing markers.
Now
That's
get to the finish
interesting.
line, mate. Don't get so chuffed up. Of course you win driving that car.
Yes, stay jealous that I actually managed to win using the Panos GTR1. Here's the thing, right? I would expect that you would win the Panos GTR in San Francisco because there's literally a race in San Francisco called Panos Pressure. So, with that in mind, you'd think that you would win the Panos GTR in San Francisco, but no, apparently you win it in London. Which I find kind of weird. As you can see, I can run into curves and literally it treats them as if it were walls. Like, off-roading on this car is horrible. This is also a car that a lot of speedrunners use. Because of how fast it is. Which, I'll actually talk about speedrunning for a couple of minutes.
It's thy final checkpoint.
Well, first, after we finish this race. So, there is actually a bit of a speedrunning scene in this game. I think that's actually how this game is still relevant, even after the modding phase. Like, don't get me wrong. Modding was a huge contribution to this game for surviving for so long, but I feel like the only reason that this game is still able to get people playing it in the year 2022 is that the fact that there is actually a small speedrunning community behind it. once I actually started watching a couple of Midtown Madness videos, I was getting videos in my recommended of people actually speedrunning the campaigns and races in this game. And surprisingly, like, there's a lot of different categories and stuff, and it's kind of crazy. Okay, the way that the checkpoints are labeled in this race are not good. Now, here's the thing. I'm probably not going to be speedrunning this game anytime soon. I definitely do not have enough skill level to actually be competitive in a speedrun, like... And I'm pretty sure with the MM2 graphics mod, I'm pretty sure it would hinder me in a speedrun, and I don't think even moderators allow this mod. Although, I could very well be wrong. I haven't done a whole lot of researching into speedruns. I just know that I see a lot of speedruns in my recommendations. Since when were there police in this race? Okay, that's kind of weird. But, I'm serious, like, you could actually look up, like, some speedrunning in this game. And the speedrunning in this game is insanity. Alright, I failed this race pretty hard. I clearly failed that race because I was doing the checkpoints in a really horrible order. Let's see if we can get it in a better order this time. I think this is definitely another one of those races where they deliberately make the checkpoints in a confusing order, so that way you try multiple ways to get through the checkpoint. Which, I'm not really a big fan of, not gonna lie. I feel like if it were to be pulled off properly, it could be done, but I don't know. This game doesn't do a really good job at pulling off the ambiguous checkpoints, the ambiguous routing. Like, it's just really hazy and so confusing. Alright. Let's go, baby. The steering is not as good as the Audi TT, but it's definitely workable. We're just speeding through this. I just used my vulnerabilities to easily recover myself. That's some big brain moves right there. I kind of hate it when the checkpoints are a little too spread out, because when the checkpoints are spread out too much, you have a difficult time, like, knowing where you need to go next. Modern driving games have improved so much since then, and definitely one of the ways that they've done that is how they place the checkpoints. Oh. You guys have roadsters? That is nothing compared to my GTR. I would say this is probably the only car that's faster than the Roadster. And of course I ran into the curves like a dumbass. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can easily recover though, yeah. Not too bad, they caught up a little bit, but they didn't catch up too much. Okay, this checkpointing, I swear to God, how many more times am I gonna complain about the checkpoints in this game?
Come on now, get yourself to the finish!
Again, that does not even sound British. And goddamn the off-roading, man. Alright. Yeah, nope, you're not catching up to me, buddy. I just edged out that win. Oh, we didn't get narration this time, but we did get a black screen. A new paint job for the Panos GTR 1. Let's go. I'm pretty sure it's the shadow black color. That's if I'm correct. Alright, we're gonna go back to some of the more basic cars. We're gonna reserve the GTR for the later races. Alright, so we're gonna do another Mini Cooper one. We're gonna do the new Mini Cooper. Well, this race is just basically going around in a circle. This is pretty much the most basic circus race you can have. Bro, this little car is going at about 120 miles per hour. That's crazy. At least I hope it's 120 miles per hour. Maybe because we're in London, maybe it's in kilometers per hour. I don't know. They don't label it with units, so we can't really be sure. And of course, I run into streetlights and basically screw myself over. Again, this is a very simplistic lapped race. I mean, yes, it's a little bit bigger than the first race, but I mean, it's still pretty much the same shape and the same concept. You're just going around in a circle. But I think there are a few lapped races that will take advantage of the underground. And I will say this again, I feel like they should have taken more advantage of the underground. Not just for the crash course, but for the races as well. Like, I feel like you could make some killer races using the underground. Alright, considering that the competition is about to become London Cavs, we're gonna move to the Audi TT. Now, of course, this is sort of like cheating the game, but here's the thing. The reason why it's this easy is because I'm pretty sure the default profile that is created for the game, which is Driver X, is at the amateur difficulty. Now, there's another difficulty in the game that is called professional mode, and I'm pretty sure if you create a profile that is set to the professional difficulty, I'm pretty sure what that's going to do is that when you do races in this game, it actually decides to choose the car for you on your first attempt, so that way you actually have some competition to play against, and it actually adds some difficulty to the game. In retrospect, maybe I should have created a new profile and set it to professional, so that way the races actually feel like they're a challenge instead of being ridiculously easy, but I think we're far past that now, so I don't think there's really a point in doing that anymore. I'm pretty sure there is a shortcut that we can take if we were to take the underground. We could actually try that the next lap. Man, the street lamps seem to be a lot heavier in London than they are in San Francisco. When I run into the street lights in San Francisco, I'm able to keep most of my momentum, but the streetlights here in the London map seem to have a little bit of an oomph to them. Whoa, I almost screwed that up really badly. Big jump! And that big jump almost screwed up my car. Let's go. Alright, let's actually check to see if we can take the underground for a quick shortcut. Of course, the train had to be there, which I think kind of ruins the shortcut a little bit. I think if the train weren't there, maybe the shortcut would have been a little bit more effective, but I don't know. It was worth a shot.
Now get you out of here!
I'm pretty sure there is a later circuit race where we actually will have to go into the underground, but for right now, we're not doing any of that. I think it's one of the, like, final, like, lapped races in London. And of course, there has to be 3 laps for this race, because why not? Alright, we're gonna take some big brain shortcuts here. It seems like the off-roading in London is a lot worse than San Francisco's off-roading. Because I noticed that whenever I go onto the grass in the London map, it seems like any car that I drive just cannot seem to drift for the life of it. But I don't seem to run into that issue with San Francisco for some reason. Alright, we're gonna take a big brain shortcut to the finish. This was a pretty boring map.
To the finish.
This was a pretty boring map. Wait. It seems like the competition actually devolved to Mini Coopers. Usually the competition is supposed to get faster, but for some reason they actually downgraded. In the last race, I was racing against a bunch of London cabs, and now we're all of a sudden racing against new Mini Coopers. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I think I could see a shortcut. Although, I don't know if it's a shortcut that would be able to save much time. Considering that it's pretty much just going down the other route. I don't think it's a shortcut that's worth it, in my opinion. So I'm probably not going to be taking it. But of course, since we're so far ahead, we can always try and experiment a little. Seems like a racer actually did take the shortcut. I mean, I swear I didn't knock those markers over, which is kind of weird. Huh! It seems like there is a driver that is taking the unintended route. That's interesting. That's the first time I've actually seen one of the racers actually take the unintended route in a circuit race. Alright, again, fairly easy race.
Well done.
Alright, okay, so, yep, this is definitely a race where we actually have to go underground. Okay. And yet the train is able to easily no-clip through the markers. Why were the markers laid out in that way? That's such a strange way to lay them out. Alright, that was a pretty big choke right there, but I'm still in the lead, so who cares? Another thing that I'm noticing, maybe the reason why they aren't utilizing the underground more is because they're not able to place any checkpoints underground. Because I'm noticing from this race that none of the checkpoints in this race are actually underground. Like, the next checkpoint in this race is as soon as you leave. So, maybe that's why they aren't utilizing the underground more, because maybe they couldn't place checkpoints underground. I wonder what the technical explanation is behind that.
Final checkpoint. A great finish for a great-looking car. The out.
And I'm pretty sure we can do this in the secret shadow. I think this is the only skin in the game that actually makes the car slightly transparent. Yeah, so this is the only paint job in the game where it actually makes your car see-through, which is quite interesting how they managed to pull that off. Already taking damage. Nice. Alright, let's go. Yeah, this Panos GTR is literally smoking the other racers. Alright, so there's 3 laps of this. I might actually completely wreck my car. Because again, the GTR has such horrible durability. Like, that's easily one of its weak points of the car. And, of course, it has the curb glitch so often, it's nutty. Which, the ERT actually fixes. Here's the thing, now that I think about it, I think the proper pronunciation of the modded car is IRT. I don't know, when I saw the car as a little kid, I just saw IRT and just immediately pronounced it as if it were an actual word. So instead of saying IRT, I just say ERT. I think the correct pronunciation is IRT, but I used to say ERT all the time, so that's what I just call the car. I just call the car ERT. And my car is almost completely wrecked.
Alright, mate. Now go for the finish. You've got all the right...
Oh, there is such a painfully obvious shortcut that you could take here. Okay, yeah, there's definitely a couple of shortcuts that we could take in this. Well, actually, I don't think that shortcut works there because of the way that the checkpoint's facing. This is definitely one of the more complicated lap races, and yet we have to do 3 laps of this, which is surprising. Alright, there we go. We did the first shortcut right there. At least the first one that I could obviously notice. Now, there's another one, which we're going to do in just a second. Alright, and here we go. We're gonna take the second shortcut, and look at how much time we managed to save with that. I know I sound pretty unenthusiastic when I say that, but at this point, when you've been making commentary for almost 2 hours at this point, I mean, literally, as I'm recording, it just crossed the 2-hour mark, but when you've been recording for almost 2 hours, like, it gets pretty tiring. But I noticed that in my previous video, I didn't really make a whole lot of commentary, which means that there's sometimes where I cut out most of the race because I just don't bother saying anything, and I didn't think that the racing footage was interesting enough to keep in the video. I mean, I finished editing the, I actually finished editing the San Francisco video, and it's like about over an hour long, which, I mean, thank God I am splitting this video up into 2 parts, but at the same time, it's like, a lot of that footage was cut out because I didn't really say anything, and, I mean, there's gonna definitely be a good chunk of this recording being taken out as well, especially me struggling on the crash course, but I think this might actually be a lengthier video than the San Francisco video.
Is thy final checkpoint. Driver.
A good sign that you know that we're about to reach the end of the races is when you start to see the Panos Roadster become used as a racer. So either this is definitely the last race or it's the penultimate race. Okay, that is a really sharp turn. Jesus Christ. Like, that's almost a 180. That's ridiculous. I mean, hey, I'm all for using the alleyways, but Jesus Christ. these nimble turns. Oh. And here's the thing, I think that shortcut won't work. Wait, maybe that shortcut could actually work. We'll have to try again and see. I mean, of course, this is another 3 laps, so I'm gonna have to endure 3 laps of twisty-turny hell. Huh, seems like someone else already took this shortcut. So, yeah, it's definitely a viable shortcut then, if someone else managed to take it. I just realized I missed the checkpoint. I am an absolute dumbass. Alright, so yeah, okay, it's definitely not a viable shortcut then, because where it takes you to is past the checkpoint, so there's really no point in taking that shortcut then. Almost made that same mistake again because the other drivers are wiping out the markers. So I actually almost got confused for a second and I actually would have driven off course.
It's now a race to the finish line.
Thank goodness we're about to finish because my car's about to die.
Jolly good show.
Alright, yep, this definitely has to be the last race, for sure. Alright, yep, considering that every other racer is a roadster, yep, this is definitely the final race. Without a doubt. And yet, surprisingly, for such a big race, there are still 3 laps of this. I mean, this race is somewhat interesting, but I don't know, it's not as impressive as some of the earlier races. Like, why does it not utilize, like, areas such as the underground and stuff? Oh my god, I'm in fact going so fast with this car that literally the car keeps colliding with the ground. That's how fast I am going with this car. I'm literally colliding with the ground intentionally just because of how fast I'm going. I think that really tells us a lot about the mechanics of this car. I think the reason why the car acts like that is so that way if you do decide to go through a ramp, your car just doesn't go flying in the air. At least it will, like, don't get me wrong, I think it still will make decent airtime, it just won't go so far high into the air that you might land on the roof of a building or something. Which is what the Urge car would actually be capable of doing with its NOS feature. Another thing about the Urge car is that it literally has infinite durability. I mean, a lot of the modded cars have infinite durability because, let's be honest, durability is quite annoying and we hate having to deal with it. So, the Urge car actually has infinite durability. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that the Urge is quite literally a god car. I don't think you can design a car for this game that is going to be any more powerful than the Urge. Like, it is ridiculously powerful. Alright, we may actually have to go through a repair for this race because I just keep running into the curves. Yeah, like, as you can see, I went up that street and literally I didn't even bother jumping at all. Oh my god, I'm just sliding. Alright, well, at least we went through the repair and we got it done and over with. Bro, we are so far ahead of this race that literally the Roadsters, which is, I think, the second fastest car in the game, it's not able to keep up. Like, that is how fast this car is. It's ridiculously fast.
right, mate. Now go for the finish. Congratulations for unlocking a new paint job for the new Beetle RSI.
Alright, let's go. We finally managed to complete all of the races for London. That's it. I think that's pretty much it for playing Midtown Madness 2 in 2022. Now, let me address a couple more things. So, no, I'm probably not going to go back and finish the London campaign because, again, I just do not have the patience in the world to try and complete that final. It's just, I know it's definitely possible. I've seen people beat it before, and I've definitely beaten the ramp section before. But considering that it takes like a good 2 to 3 minutes to even get to that section, the time just snowballs and piles up for each and every attempt you make. So it's honestly just not worth it. Another thing that I want to answer is, am I going to be making another Midtown Madness 2 video? That really depends. If this video actually gains the amount of traction that my first video did, I might do 1 or 2 more Midtown Madness 2 videos. And I think for those videos, I'm probably just going to be focusing a lot around the mods of the game. I'm not going to be focusing on the actual, like, base material of the game. So, if you have any mods, then feel free to suggest them. But again, I think I'm overall pretty much done with making my content on Midtown Madness 2. I think this is definitely a game I will still play on the occasion if I am bored, but we're so far in the year 2022, and driving games have evolved so much to the point, like, even with the huge amount of modding that you could do in this game, I just really don't see a reason to continue playing this game seriously. Alright, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Jesus Christ, I'm kind of glad I split this video up into 2 parts because, wow, each section took a while. If you actually managed to watch through the whole thing, I just comment something saying that you managed to watch the whole thing. Because I want to see if there are a decent amount of people who actually managed to watch through the whole thing. If you enjoyed long plays like these and you want me to do more long plays, maybe on different, maybe more modern titles, feel free to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Alright, that's all I have to say. This is Game Webcam, and take care.